Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. It is good to be here again to reason with you on another good topic. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to reason with me? Alright, if you're ready, don't go anywhere. Stick and stay. I'll be right back. I'm giving you time to sit and be comfortable for this reasoning. Yes friends, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. I know you're still there and that's wonderful, alright? Because I know you want to hear my reasoning I have for you today. Now today we are going to be talking about, will God bless those who lives contrary to his will? Will God bless those who live contrary to his will? Alright, well let's go dive right into it. Let's dive right into it. I know many of you will say, of course God will bless those who are out there and all these things. But we are going to go into a few little scriptures and that will tell you, you know, what God is dealing with. Now, the first one that we will be looking at is Jeremiah 5 verse 25, which reads, your iniquity have turned these away, and your sins have kept good from you. Now God plainly is not into sin, right? God plainly is not into sin. Sin is not of God. Sin is not of God, and God will not be a contributor to a sinful life, right? God will not be a contributor to those who are living a sinful life. Now let's take it a bit more further. So we are going to read first Peter 2 verse 1 to 5. So I'm just going to read the first part, right? He said, so put away all malice and all deceit and hypocrisy and envy and all slander, right? So it is saying that God is saying that that we should put away all malice, right? Put away all malice and all deceit and hypocrisy and envy and all slander. Now clearly we see that God is not into these character traits, and God will not endorse these character traits, nor will he encourage these characters, right? And so God is saying that we should put away all these things because he will not work with these things, right? He will not work with these, right? And in James 1 verse 12 says, blessed is the man who remains steadfast, right? Who remains steadfast in him, right? Who remains steadfast in his word, right? So we clearly see that God is not into these character traits, and nor will he encourage it, right? So God will not encourage these character traits, right? So God will not bless us when we are living contrary to his will, because if he should bless us, it simply means that it is okay for you and I to continue to live in sin because we are still getting the blessing of God. That's what it would simply mean. That nothing wrong in living a sinful life because we are still being blessed by God. And let me say that this is the setup of Satan. Yeah, this is the setup of Satan, right? Satan is trying to set up the character of God, and he's trying to set up what God stands for. And so Satan will say, nothing wrong in living a sinful life because you are still being blessed. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So it's just like when Eve go against God, and God said, you shall surely die. And Satan just tweak it a bit and just take one little thing and said, you shall not surely die. And begin to tell Eve that it's because God don't want him to see, you know, what God don't want her to see the fullness of things, and that's why God kept all this from her and all these things, right? So Satan is trying to put a damp on the character of God, right? To say that it is okay to go against God, it is okay to live a sinful life, right? Nothing is wrong to be of the world. You will still be receiving your blessings, right? God does not work that way, friends. And many times, even many of us, we can detest that there are persons in the world who say God blesses them, yet they are living contrary to God's will, right? Many times we hear that. Many times we hear persons out there say, oh, God bless me and God have helped me to get that and all these things. But yet, they are not serving God. Yet they are not willing to give their life to God. They are just living and achieving down the world and living for the things of the world than giving their life to God and live for God. So they rather to live a sinful life and say that they are being blessed in it, and then put it on God and say God is the one who is blessing them. Many times we hear that from those who are from the entertainers. Many times we hear that from the entertainers of this country, right? And even when the storm don't come here, a lot of them were saying that, oh, we are a jobless country. We are a jobless country and a blessed we bless. But a pity they don't know, because they think that because they are a part of Jamaica, because they are a part of the country, so automatically they are being blessed. They are the one who, allowed the storm not to come because of them. But it's a pity. They don't understand. They don't know what they are saying. Right? Many persons would want God to even to roll back this corona, and even to intervene and done away with even crime and sickness and all these things, for them to go about living their normal life, go about living, continue living their sinful life. And that's the way mankind is. Mankind would want God to come to intervene and do something to end all the heartaches and all these things, for them to continue to go on with their sinful life. Now, God don't work like that. He said that if all would turn to him and give their life to him, if all men would turn, then he would heal the land. So if every man would turn to God, God would do step in and do what he needs to do or what he wants to do. But he can't do that because man will always continue to go contrary to God and live their own life instead of living for God. So God cannot, heal this land and for person to continue in their sinful deeds. Man would have to turn their life around and serve God. Yeah? For God to do all these things. So God will not endorse a sinful life, a sinful living. No, because God want us to come out of a sinful life, and He's calling us to come out of the sinful life and to give our life to Him. So God is calling us away from sin. He's not pushing us into sin. Right? God is calling us out of sin. So He will not do anything to keep you into sin or any one of us into sin. So when He speaks about blessings, many of us think that, oh, it's money. It's money. So when the Bible speaks about blessing, it is not speaking about money, right? It is speaking about having a relationship with God, having a good spiritual life, right? Having health, having a healthy life. These things are the blessings that God will pronounce upon us when we serve Him, when we put our life in His hand. If you are being hated by others, God will end up bless you, that they will end up have to come to your feet, to end up show you respect. God will bless you to have honor when you serve Him, when you obey His commandment. These are the blessings that God will pronounce upon you. God will pronounce blessing upon you, that wherever you go, you will be respected because of your lifestyle. God will bless you, that He will allow men to see how different you are, to see the life that you're living, and even honor you because of the life that you're living. God will bless you, that He will allow your enemy to be at your footstool. Right? God will bless you, that when others mean bad for you, it turns out to be something good. Just like with Joseph, when Joseph's brother, they sold him because they hated him because of, how he were, or, because of, maybe how his father looked on him, because of his humility. His brother ate him, right? And what did they do? They sold him. But even though they sold him, it ended up become a blessing. It end up becomes a blessing, and even become a blessing for the family as well. So when person do you wrong or intend something bad for you, God will turn it around because of your walk with Him. God will end up turn around all that situation that they meant for bad for you. God will turn it around to be a blessing. So when we walk with God, friends, when we walk with God in obedience to His will, when we walk in obedience to God's will, God will always look out and will always provide for you. That's a blessing. When we walk in God, He will bless you. So many of us, we are taking this blessing the wrong way, because Satan blesses others as well. Satan can do things So let's not forget about that. So Satan will endorse things upon persons to keep them out there. And whatever Satan has to do to keep men in sin, to keep men in the pleasure of this world, he will do it to keep them there. So Satan will pronounce blessing. Satan can pronounce blessing and let things happen for others and to keep them out there. So when a one is living in sin and doubling up in sin and enjoying sin and all these things in sin, and they turn around and say, oh, God bless them with all what they have, it's not God behind that. It's Satan. Because Satan can do things as well. Remember when Satan carried Jesus at the top of the mountain and was saying to Jesus to throw himself down, he will let him have all these things. So Satan can present things to persons, right, to keep them in sin, to keep them out there. So Satan will bless his person to keep them in sin. So let us not, get this thing wrong and get it the other way around. Because God will not endorse a sinful living, a sinful life. No day, no time, God will endorse that, because sin is not of the character of God. So I leave it here, friends. I hope that I said something that makes sense, that will reach someone to understand the blessing of God and to understand what is of God and what is not. God calls us to be wise, and God expects us to use our senses that He gave us to be wise and know what is from Him and what is not from Him, and who and what is for Him and not for Him. So friends, I leave it here. So I hope that someone was being blessed by stopping by and listening to my reasoning. I'm asking you to share this reasoning with someone who you'd want to hear and to learn something. So help me to reach others with these positive reasoning and to help to uplift persons. So keep it breezy, friends, and remember to like, subscribe, and share and comment, friends. Remember to comment. I know I'm not seeing a lot of comment, but but I hope that comments will come in and we will reason, and remember to like, friends. If you enjoy my reasoning, remember to like my reasoning and also to share. So keep it breezy, friends, and